back by popular demand to do the All About Concealers video. I told you guys in the All About Foundations video, well, I think I commented actually below letting you guys know that I am going to do one for concealers, setting powders, and maybe even like hair care stuff, just so you guys know like what I think are the absolute best in all of those categories. So I've done my foundations video. You guys seem to have loved that. So now I wanted to do the concealers version of it. So for all of you guys who do not know, I'm basically doing this video to show you guys what I think are just hands down the best concealers on the market. They're not products that I necessarily use on myself. They could be what I use on my clients, what I have in my kit, or even things that I think, you know, work really well for a specific reason. So this video also includes correctors, just because I feel like concealers and correctors go together. I don't have too many correctors to show you guys just because these are the two that I like the most, but here goes. My first product that I think just is great for everyday life and one that looks really good on camera is the bellezza Undereye Illuminator. This is a company that not many of you guys know about. I did a review a long time ago, maybe over a year ago, about their products. They are very, very high quality products. They are kind of expensive though, and I know lots of people think that they would rather spend their money on a company that's more well known if it's going to be expensive than spend it on a company that they don't know much about. But I gave their company a chance. I bought some of their products. This is the Undereye Illuminator, and it's awesome. It definitely is just that. It brightens up your under eye area because it has like a bluish, silverish kind of tinge underneath it. That definitely helps to bring your under eye area back to life again, which is what a corrector would normally do. So it kind of works, you know, I wouldn't say it's as much of a corrector, but I think that it helps brighten up that area. And the reason I like it is because the texture of this is really interesting. It's like a gel. It's not like a normal concealer. Let me show you guys. The texture is definitely not one that I've ever, you know, seen or felt before. It's really interesting. It's like a gel-like thing, so it doesn't like mask over your skin, yet it goes on and looks like real skin. It feels like real skin, and it photographs like real skin. It doesn't end up making your skin look masky or, you know, not like your normal self. So I really like that. Only problem is that they don't have very many of these. There are only a few different shades, like maybe 4 or 5. So you kind of have to end up thinking, okay, well, I could fall into this category, so I'll make it work for me. But just like every other product, I think the way you buff it into your skin really says a lot as to, you know, if you can manage to make it work for you, even if it's not the exact match for you. So I love this product. I think this was like $25 or $20 or something like that. Not super, super expensive. Oh, also, I believe Estee Lauder or YSL, one of those two brands, makes something exactly like this, but this is cheaper. Because I know the woman who owns this line, and this is not why it's in here. You guys have seen me use it so many times in my videos, but I know that she told me that this product is almost exactly like that. So awesome product right there. It's like a pen dispenser. I don't like that though, just because I wish it would have like a doe foot applicator or even come in a jar or something, just because I can't even tell how much product is in here. So when it's running out, I have no way of knowing. And to get product out for the very first time, you know, you have to press the thing a million times to get anything out of it. So that's the one thing that I don't like about this. Then the second most amazing concealer that I think just really hides flaws very well is this one. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. It came out maybe about a year ago with the MAC Pro Longwear line. They have a line of foundations and concealers. I love the packaging on this just because it's got like the pump, which, you know, you'd never end up wasting too much product with pumps. It's a glass bottle, so it just looks like, you know, nice and chic packaging. It dispenses just as much product as you need. This is also a ton of concealer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've used it all the way down to there. And this thing comes with a lot. This is 9 milliliters or 0.3 fluid ounces, which is a ton of concealer. Now, the color range for this is awesome. And again, it goes in the NC and W range. So if you guys have used MAC products before, you shouldn't have a problem finding something that will work for you. This product is one of the most concentrated concealers I've ever used. So you need like literally the tiniest amount to cover up the worst of your imperfections, because this is just super, super concentrated. It's also like, let me show you the consistency. This is like a liquid consistency, but I don't know, whatever is in this makes it so pigmented and concentrated so that you don't need much. Because most liquids, you know, you can move it around your face, but it'll become less coverage if you don't have much left. But look at how thick that is. Yeah, I guess liquid is the best way to describe it. It's just got, you know, it's like a normal liquid consistency, but it is definitely very full coverage. The bellezza one that I showed you guys before, this one is not as full coverage. I would definitely say that. It's not going to cover to the level that this will. This photographs really well also. The only problem with this that I've noticed of late is that if your under eye area can get pretty gray like mine, I have like a darker under eye right over here in the corners of my eyes. You know, it's like a brownish color, and then when you put this on, it can kind of turn gray. It'll cover really well to a point, but I think that you would need a corrector under this. I don't usually use correctors under my eyes, but I have used it once or twice in conjunction to this, and it worked really well. But if you've got uber dark circles, no matter how concentrated this is, this will make that area turn gray, which obviously you don't want. So you'd have to use that with a corrector. Another awesome product for cameras is the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer. This is in the color 4. And this was one of the very first concealers that I discovered for cameras, because I used to use a lot of different concealers and they always ended up really showing up on cameras, and you don't want people to be able to see that. In real life it would look fine, but on cameras it wouldn't. This is one of the few that would. This has got 6 colors. Again, not a very good color range, but actually I don't think everybody would be able to use this just because the color range is pretty bad. But this is the thickest out of all the concealers. It's a cream, right, as you guys can tell. Very, very, very thick. It blends really well, but it can get kind of chalky if you're not careful. This is a concealer that you don't necessarily have to set with a powder also, just because, you know, it stays on and it doesn't really move and all that stuff, but it can kind of crease sometimes even if you do set it with a powder. As in, like, it's going to crease with or without a powder. Not very, very much, but it can. It has, like, once or twice. I don't know if it was because I hadn't moisturized my skin as well or anything like that, but I have seen it crease a couple times. However, this would be awesome for people with the worst of the worst dark circles, because it's so thick. You definitely do not need a corrector under this. Also, I really like this color. It's definitely a yellow tinge concealer, but it still works really well. It doesn't go off looking yellow, because, you know, most people like to use salmon colors under their eyes. And even though this is pretty different looking than that, once it's set and it's in your skin, you know, when you look at it, it does look really good, even though it's not like a salmon-y color. Oh yeah, so the Pro Longwear, you don't need to set this with any powder, which is my favorite part about this. That's how concentrated and how good it is. It does not crease at all. I have never even for 1 second seen it crease, which is awesome, which is, you know, which most people have lots of problems with under eye concealer creasing. This one does not crease at all, even if you don't set it. Also, the bellezza concealer, this one does not ever crease. You don't need to set it with a powder. This is only one of 2 concealers that I know which you don't have to set with powder, so love that. Okay, then my next one is my MAC Studio Finish Concealer. This concealer I like to use mostly around my face for blemishes because it's so thick and it covers that stuff well. It is good for your under eyes also. I know a lot of people really like it for that. I do also, but I tend to go for something a little bit thinner. This is like a creamish, powderish type of, I don't even know what consistency you would call this, but it's super thick. I think that if you can get it to work for you and come on without looking powdery, then it works really well for your under eye area, but you have to really warm it up and work with it a lot to get it to work. Like, did you guys see, like, even when I'm trying to move it, it's not moving very well. So it's one of those ones that's really hard to use. You might have to also take a brush out, like scoop out some, rub it in the back of your hand to get it to warm up to your skin color, which I think is a lot of extra steps to make it work. But I realized that if you use a brush that's really dense and thick, like kind of like this one, it works really well. But I prefer it for blemishes on my face to things, you know, under my eyes. This concealer too I think is really great for blemishes on your skin just because it is thick enough to cover that without looking unnatural. Whereas the Pro Longwear, I don't think I would ever use this for skin imperfections, but it's so concentrated that if you have pigmentation for your chin, you know, that's not too bad. I've used it sometimes in the corners of my mouth and whatnot to cover that up and to also make my lipstick, you know, the shape of my lipstick better. So you can do a few different things. Oh, the other thing also that I love the Studio Finish for, I use this a lot on my brow bone to make my my eyebrows look like they are a better shape and more defined, this does a really good job of that. A lot of MAC makeup artists use it for the same thing. Like they'll just add like a little bit right over here to brighten up that brow bone. Then one of my favorite concealers is the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer. I love this. I'm not a fan of the packaging because it's kind of flimsy, like this is about to break off, I feel like. This is a super, super creamy concealer. It has that like shine to it, so you can tell it's very wet. And again, this is also very concentrated. Like look how little I took. And I think that would be enough for my entire under eye area. Very, very creamy, very emollient, will move a lot. So you need like the tiniest amount to cover up an entire problem area. But this creases a ton. I've used this with every possible way. Like I have used this with an under eye cream, I've set it with powders, I've done everything, but it's never not creased for me, which makes me not use this as much under my eyes. However, it doesn't crease on my mom. My mom loves this like with a passion, and it never creases on her. So I don't know, why it creases on me, but if this doesn't work out for under your eyes, this is awesome for hyperpigmentation. If you guys have seen any of my hyperpigmentation videos, I've showed you guys one time where I used this on my chin area, and that helped so much. This is also a great concealer for your face, blemish wise and all that stuff. It helps a lot also. And they also have trios with a few different colors in it. I know like my friends swear by it. It's supposed to be that good, but I don't own that or use it. So then my next concealer that I've been using the most right now is the Origins Quick Hide Concealer. I use this under my eyes. I actually have this on right now, but I also have on something on top of that. But this one I like just because it's easy to use. I don't have to have like a third thing to make it work. It has a doe foot applicator. I apply it with that. I rub it in with my fingers or a 224 brush, but I like the fact that this is really pigmented. It doesn't make anything under my eyes turn gray. It also does not really need to be set to work, so I really like that because if you can make it easier and faster to use without extra steps, it's always awesome. Super portable, really tiny. You don't really, I don't know, this is just my idea of like portable, easy to carry makeups. I like it a lot. They don't have too many color shades in this. It's got like maybe 5 or 6, but I found this works really well. And this was the first product that I ever used by Origins, and now I'm using more products from them and I really seem to like it. Yeah, this is more of like a yellow tone concealer, which most people don't like, but yet it somehow works. It's very liquidy, as you guys can tell right there. Definitely much more of a yellow tone than the other ones that I've shown you guys, but definitely my one of choice at this very moment. I just think that it goes on easy, it sets beautifully, and photographs really well. That's always really important to me. I hate it when things, don't photograph well because I feel like you shouldn't have to have different products for what photographs well versus what doesn't. So I'm really liking this one. This one wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $20 or something like that. So then my last products right here are the Graftobian products. This is my Graftobian Corrector palette right here. I have never been a huge fan of correctors. The only one that I use is the Makeup Forever, pink camouflage cream, which helps me a lot. This is the Graftobian's, version of that. So if you guys are familiar with correctors, like green will help cancel out pink. You put that on before you put on your foundation. Then you put on foundation. It's obviously extra steps, but if a product works that well, and if you have skin problems, then, why wouldn't you use it? So my favorite one out of here is the Soft Orange. This is the blue neutralizer. Also helps like dark circles, pigmentation, that kind of thing. It's awesome. I've used this yellow sometimes under my eyes to cancel out purple and red, like for my types of dark circles that I have. I like that a lot. I've never used the green, and in my experience, the green has never, green in general does not cancel out red when I have tried to use it before, because I had the Smashbox green primer that did not do anything for me. Then over here they've got pink again for pigmentation. That's awesome. If you guys have it and you couldn't find the Makeup Forever, then you guys could try this one. Then it's got just like a lighter highlighter for people who are a lot lighter skin. I like this palette just because, one, it was inexpensive and it's got 5 highlighters or 5 different correctors in here. Instead of just buying one thing for this entire thing, I got, all 5 of this for $20. So I like that a lot. These are very, very creamy. Let me show you guys. Wow, super creamy. Super, super creamy. Graftobian, I think I have realized, makes awesome products. It's just a company that, a lot of makeup artists know about, but not the normal consumer. But I think that if you guys have skin problems and want to get like a really great foundation, really great concealer, you should definitely try out their products. It's inexpensive and they work well. I really like this because you don't have to set this either. It sets really beautifully on its own. Super emollient, super, like, it just moves really well, so you don't need much product, which is awesome. Again, super portable. You can just dip your finger in here, your ring finger, and put it on. It'll look really good. Then I have Graftobian's foundation palette right here. The reason I'm showing you guys this in a concealer video, is because these end up working out really well as concealers also. I actually just ended up using a bunch of these colors down here to cover up somebody's tattoo, and it worked like a charm. It stayed on all day. It blended in amazingly well, and it's easy to blend the colors together to get the color that you're looking for. So I thought that this was awesome because it's like a foundation and concealer, so if you don't want to buy lots of different products, you can, you know, survive with just having one of these and making it work for everything, because of course it's got a million different colors, so you'll find something that works for you in here. My last corrector right here is the Makeup Forever Camouflage Cream. This is the pink one. I use this for hyperpigmentation. You guys can see how much I've used of that, and it's just an awesome product. It really, really helps me. I've also got that on today, but you guys can't tell because I put on my foundation on top, and that's what it's supposed to do. I'm assuming that if the pink one works so well, then all the other colors would be just as good. They've probably got about 10 shades. Makeup Forever is an awesome brand, so you guys would obviously find something that works for you. I've never heard of anyone complain about their products, and I like this because it's a cream, but I think that temperatures really matter for this, because sometimes it's really dry, other times it's really wet. Like right now it's really wet looking, and it's really cold here in Georgia, so I don't get it, like how it's wet and runny right now, but it's dry, you know, during the other times. But that's what it is. It's pink, and this is the color that you would use if you have like gray areas in your face, also like hyperpigmentation, things like that. So that is it for my concealers video. These are the concealers that I use. I know there's a million more in the market, but this is what I use on my clients and myself, and they have never failed me. It's always ended up being really, really good for me. So if you guys have any other products that you've tried that you love, please let me know. You know how much I love to go out there and try out things. So I'm always looking for something new to try out and to learn about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.